I already know by talking to you. I'm probably safe to say, you're like, Mike, this is just the way it's been. I don't know. This is the way I was raised. This is it. This is what it is. And it's not like, you have any kind of stare. You're just used to, that's a lot of volatility compared to the rest of the planet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, and I don't offend anybody. I don't understand or fully believe, the whole like post-traumatic stress and the whole letting it ruin your life and all of that. I just get on with life. We lost everything. We came back. My mom went from running a safari business with 4 airplanes and a bunch of camps and a farm of 200 employees to being a waitress at a Denny's in 48 hours just to make enough money for us to live in a shitty 1-bedroom government housing in the United States. So, it was tough on my family for sure, but it's like you said, it's just the way it was. There's nothing to mope over. There's nothing to gripe about. You just got to get on with it.
I get that sense about you.
That is, Mike. That's how I've lived my life, and I think that's why we've been so successful in the field of biology and media, because it's just, you just get on with it. You just embrace it and keep going.
Just to mention to your mom, because just hearing about, I got 2 daughters, and my
Sure.
mom, my family lineage, the woman is like, tough,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and to hear about women being treated like livestock. I mean, your mom. First of all, your sister's name is Summer, and your name is Forrest, right? So who's the one that has kind of like that kind of sense about it? Is your mom? She's like kind of like she's the Zimbabwe wife. Does she have that that sense of, you're kind of like the River Phoenix family, that they went to Puerto Rico. They had those wonderful nature names. Is that your mom's side?
I think it's just my mom being a bit of a hippie.
Eh?
There's not, most of the people in our family have I guess, yes. The short answer is yes, that's my mom's side. My mom's sister's name is Topaz. She's named after a rock. My mom's name's Jacaranda. She's named after a tree. So I guess it comes from her side of the family and just sort of continued it.
Starting to like your mom, man. I mean, I'm starting to like kind of get a picture here of who she is and what she did. And, she's a waitress now, and you're 14 years old at this point, in not in Fresno, up in, where you're, Oakland, where you guys landed.
Oakland. Yep.
And, where do you go from there? And, what does your mom do I'm kind of curious about what your relationship with her and what you're doing at this time at 15, 16. What's happening with you guys?
Sure. So I was a very angry kid because I'd been ripped out of my house and my home. I'd lost all my friends. I lost my dog, everything I'd ever known. And when you're a wild kid who basically never wears shoes and runs around the bush catching animals your whole life, and then you get shoved into Oakland, it's a bit of a culture shock. So I was running around Oakland, sort of getting into fights, getting into fist fights, getting into all kinds of trouble as a pretty angry teenager. And my mom realized that this was not a healthy environment for us. And so we were on welfare because we were refugees and had nothing. And my aunt had been living near Los Angeles for some time. She happened to be in Zimbabwe when we left, just because she traveled back and forth. But she said, look, go down to Los Angeles, grab my car so you guys at least have a car, and drive back to your house for now, and then when I get back we'll sort some stuff out, blah blah blah. So we're in Oakland. I spend a few months there. Like I said, I'm getting into all kinds of trouble. I get driven home by the police a couple times. My mom has to come and pick me up. I'm getting in fist fights. I'm just a sort of an angry kid. And Oakland's a pretty rough place. It's not very, but all that being said, all the sort of rough and tough gang guys, I think I was a lot tougher in my short safari shorts walking around in flip-flops getting in fistfights. But anyway, so we get on a Greyhound bus, drive all the way down to Los Angeles because my mom couldn't leave us. She had a pulmonary embolism and had to be hospitalized. The whole thing from the stress. And anyway, when she got out of the hospital, we got on this bus and went down to Los Angeles, picked up my aunt's car and started driving back. And as we're driving back, we decided to come up the coast because none of us had ever seen the California coastline properly before. And we sort of crested the hill into this tiny little surfer town called Cayucas, California. It's like population like 2,000, 4,000, something like that. Tiny little surfer town. It's about 2 hours north of Santa Barbara, about 4 hours north of San Francisco. And we pulled in there. It was one of the very rare, like 75-degree, beautiful sunny days, tiny little surfer town. Still, this is 15, 20 years ago now. So before everything was wildly, wildly expensive. And my mom thought to herself, or so she's told me, this is it. Like Forrest and my daughter Summer won't be getting into as much trouble here. It's a tiny little town. There's 2 police officers. There's no gangs. There's nothing. It's a little surfer town, and it's as far removed from the African bush as you could possibly get. To the point that it's like going from living in the mountains to living at the beach. And so yeah. Anyway, got back to Oakland, packed up our things, and I don't exactly understand how my mom made it all work, but we managed to get some subsidies to go live in Cayucas. And then there I was, 15, 16 years old, whatever it was at that time, and started high school and finished up high school in Cayucas, California, still with the intent on, as soon as the day I turned age 18, I'd head back to Zimbabwe, fight for my farm, become a safari guide, do everything that I'd always known I was going to do, which obviously didn't happen.